The guys who are desperate to lose belly fat fast are usually the ones who get the slowest results. Why? Because they skip the basics, they chase the shortcuts, and they have to keep starting over. I know this firsthand because I've been there myself, and I've coached hundreds of guys just like you over the last 6 years. Once upon a time, a girl broke my heart and started liking a load of fitness guys' photos on Instagram. So I thought, if I can get ripped fast, I can win it back. I trained like a maniac, slashed my calories, and tried every fat loss hack out there. But all that happened was I kept falling off my diet, and eventually I got injured. That's when I realized that speed wasn't the answer to this problem. So I took a step back, slowed down, and focused on building simple but sustainable habits. And sure enough, in 4 months, I dropped 50 pounds. The lesson? Sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. Great things take time. And that's why so few men ever see real change, particularly when it comes to stubborn belly fat. But you have to remember this. Billionaires think in decades, boys think in days. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's great, but what's this got to do with my fitness? But how you do anything is how you do everything. And the first mistake most guys make is going too hard, too fast. Just like I did. Sure, I lost a lot of weight quickly, but it backfired. If you want to lose belly fat, and more importantly, keep it off for good, the process can't feel like a punishment. You want to build habits that you can live with, because at the end of the day, you're not actually trying to build a diet. You're trying to build a lifestyle. Most guys aren't doing that. They're thinking in days and weeks rather than months and years. Their expectations are all wrong, and so they end up quitting. That's the first of 6 mistakes that most men make when they're trying to lose their stubborn belly fat. In the rest of this video, I'm going to take you through the other 5 so that you can buck the trend and do what 99% of other guys can't do this day and blast that belly fat for good. So full screen the video and let's lock in. My second mistake was thinking that I had to eat clean at 24/7. I believed the secret to burning belly fat was eating chicken, rice, and broccoli on repeat. But here is what actually happened. I'd eat the boring meals, I'd feel miserable, and by midweek, I was already in the snack cupboard. Then I'd feel guilty and promise myself that I'd start again on Monday. I found out the hard way that it's not about eating perfectly. It's just about eating the right amount, because at the end of the day, your body needs energy to survive, and we get our energy from food. Eat more than you need and you gain fat. Eat less than you burn and you lose it. It really is that simple, but the problem is most guys don't actually know how many calories they burn. So if you want a very quick way to figure it out, just take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 15. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds, 200 times 15 equals 3,000 calories. That's the number of calories that you would want to eat if you wanted to maintain. If you want to lose fat, you need to eat less than that. A lot of guys aim for a 500 calorie daily deficit because over the course of a week, 500 times by 7 equals 3,500. And that just so happens to add up to the number of calories that are in 1 pound of fat. So for our 200 pound guy, 3,000 minus 500 equals 2,500 calories daily. Sounds easy, right? But it isn't, because real life never is. You'll have bad days, stress, social occasions, weekends. So instead of stressing daily, I recommend planning weekly. Multiply your daily target by 7. So 2,500 a day adds up to 17,500 a week. This way you can save calories for weekends, meals out, beers with the boys, whatever you want. Think of it like a savings account for your food. And when you look at it this way, eating and dieting becomes far less stressful. And more importantly, you don't feel like a failure if you mess up on one day. That mindset shift alone can change everything. And if you're confused by all of these numbers, don't stress. I've got a free calorie calculator link below, which gives you everything that you need. It's going to send you your custom numbers so you don't have to figure out any of the maths yourself. As I said, it's completely free. It's only going to take you 30 seconds, so feel free to pause the video and use that right now if you don't already know your calories. Anyway, moving on to my third mistake. And this was a big one. And it's not realizing the full power and potential of our favorite macronutrient, protein. I used to think that protein was just for the bodybuilders, for the Arnold Schwarzeneggers who wanted the massive muscles. And at the time, that wasn't my goal. I just wanted to get 6-pack shredded. So I kind of just ignored it. But here's the problem. I was always starving. And that is a pretty big problem, especially in a fat loss phase, because then all you end up doing is thinking about food 24/7. Turns out that protein is a complete game changer when it comes to hunger. In fact, fun fact, the word protein actually comes from the ancient Greek word protos, which means first. Protein keeps your blood sugar stable, it controls your cravings, and it even keeps you fuller for longer because it physically sits in your stomach because it's harder for your body to digest, break down, and process. That then sends a signal all the way up to your brain telling it that you are full. And for me, this was a total light bulb moment because when I started aiming for about 150 grams of protein or more every single day, everything changed. I stayed fuller for longer, my cravings dropped off a cliff, and most importantly, I felt in control. Plus, if you want an added incentive, protein helps to keep your hair, your nails, your skin, and even your immune system nice and strong. So, if you're struggling with cravings, start prioritizing protein at every meal. And I know what you might be thinking. 150 grams sounded like a lot to me when I first got started. But honestly, once I put some focus into it, it not only just became easy, but I ended up hitting 200 grams regularly. And to this day, that's what I do without even thinking about it. And remember, protein doesn't have to be boring. There are plenty of high protein foods that taste amazing. In fact, just to give you a few ideas, I'll drop my high protein hacks cheat sheet, which is normally exclusively available for my clients on the screen right now. So you can screenshot that if you want. Mistake number 4, I completely ignored fiber. I thought fiber was for the older folks who just wanted to stay regular, if you know what I mean. Turns out, just like protein, fiber is a secret weapon when it comes to fat loss. Just the same as protein, fiber fills you up because it's much harder for your body to digest it and break it down. It expands in your stomach, which sends that fullness signal up to the brain again. But unlike protein, fiber doesn't even add many calories. So when you combine high protein and high fiber, it's the difference between constantly raiding the snack cupboard and being happy with 3 square meals a day. Plus, fiber is absolutely crucial for your gut health. Most of your serotonin, which is your feel-good, happy hormone, is actually produced in your gut. And a healthy gut means a better mood, clearer thinking, and far less chance that you're going to end up on a binge. Not only that, but fiber helps to keep your energy levels stable. And given that you're in a fat loss phase where you want to actively try to burn more calories, that's going to help to prevent you from dragging your knuckles through every single day. So what you want to do is just aim for about 30 grams of fiber a day. And when you actually put some focus into it, just like the protein, it's far easier than you think. You can add some berries to your breakfast. Make sure that you're eating some form of vegetable at each of your meals. And as long as you're not allergic, snack on some nuts. But just be mindful of the portion because they can be very calorie dense. But what we're talking about there is some tiny changes that add up to a big difference over a period of time. And remember, you're now thinking in years and months rather than days and weeks. Mistake number 5 was that I didn't drink enough water. I know what you're thinking. Everybody from me to your mum tells you to drink more, but nobody explains why. Think of food like the petrol in your car, but water is the oil, and without it, the engine's going to break down. The fact is, every single cell in your body needs water to function correctly. And even being just 1 to 2% dehydrated means that your brain starts shutting down non-essential processes. And what that looks like in reality is you end up feeling tired, foggy, and unmotivated. That's when you end up skipping workouts, snacking more, and ultimately sabotaging your calorie deficit. In contrast, staying hydrated gives you more energy, mental clarity, and crucially, the drive to keep going. So, how much water should you be drinking? Well, honestly, most guys are walking around chronically dehydrated. So the answer I give everybody is more. But if you want an actual number, about 3 liters a day is a solid start. And if you're thinking, Doug, I barely drink 1 liter of water a day right now, I get it. But just like your protein target, this is just about focus. I used to be the exact same, and now I drink 3 liters of water before 9 a.m. and 5 to 6 liters of water throughout the day. I wake up and I have 500 milliliters of water with some electrolyte powder. I take a big bottle of water, just like this one right here, to the gym, and by the time I've completed my workout and got home, I've finished that, and then I have another 500 milliliters of water with my protein shake. So there you go. Done and dusted, 3 liters by 9 a.m. The point is, if I can do it by 9 a.m., you can do it by 9 p.m. Anyway, last but not least, mistake number 6, believing if it fits your macros means that it's fine to eat absolutely anything that you want. Back in the day, this was all the rage. I was eating ice cream and chips and junk food as long as it fit in my calories. Yeah, I lost a little bit of fat, but I felt awful, tired, cravings through the roof, and my workouts absolutely sucked. Quantity matters when it comes to fat loss, but quality matters too, because processed junk food is addictive, it's not filling, it's draining your energy, and it's wrecking your hormones. The reality is hyper-palatable junk food lights up the reward centers in your brain that makes you want to crave it more. Plus, it's low in protein, low in fiber, and high in the crap kind of fats. Plus, like I said, it really messes up your hormones, particularly your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. High cortisol, high stress means bad sleep. Bad sleep means your hormones go like this. Then your motivation, your discipline, and ultimately your fat loss completely tank. But listen, I'm not saying that you can never have a pizza again. I coach my guys on the 80-20 rule. 80% of your food for function, 20% for fun. And that 20% is important because it makes you feel like you're never on a diet. But if you're constantly tired, foggy, and struggling with belly fat, take a 14-day break from junk and processed food. It'll feel easy for about 2 days and then the cravings will hit. But whatever you do, push through, because trust me, between day 10 and 14, your taste buds on your tongue will actually reset. Junk food won't taste the same. And more importantly, you'll start to fall in love with how you feel. More energy, better sleep, and most important, higher drive. And trust me, as guys gets older and testosterone starts to go down, drive becomes the most important thing. So there you have it. The 6 biggest mistakes that most guys make when it comes to losing belly fat. And more importantly, how you can avoid them. But if you're still not sure where to start, or you found yourself spinning your wheels for the last couple of months, and you're serious about finally shifting that belly fat, then click the second link in the description underneath this video to get all the information about how my coaching program works. But if you're good, no stress. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.